G'day guys, I'm William Rogue from Running Injury Free Revolution. So today for our video, what I'm going to be talking about is a personal story, as opposed to one that's simply informative. I'm here to talk about a struggle that I had with an injury. It was my ITB, my iliotibial band. And having ITB syndrome was really difficult, and it's something that I had to go through for roughly 4 years. During that time I was told by a lot of professionals that all I really needed to do was make sure that I was rolling my ITB and doing some rehab on it, and that would help me to keep running or keep within my sport. But I found that was actually only went a certain way in helping me to overcome the injury. What I discovered was I really had to understand the root cause of the pain, and preventing its onset was the most crucial thing. So obviously you should continue to roll your ITB and make sure that we are rehabbing it at all times. But in order to prevent its onset in the first place, you need to know a few crucial techniques. Now, what I found is basically there were 4 things that really helped me to prevent its onset. And these 4 keys start with the way I was planting my feet. So I started by planting in the midfoot. What that basically did is, by utilising that arch in my midfoot, it helped me to absorb a lot of that pressure and prevent a lot of that weight that was travelling up through my body, and reducing that pressure that was at my ITB. Before I go on any further, I'll just show you where the ITB is. So the ITB joins between the knee here, so the lateral epicondyle on the outside, all the way up to its insertion point on the hip. The majority of pain that I used to get was actually at the insertion point on the hip. So I used to get severe pain within roughly 20 to 30 minutes each run, and I couldn't go on after that point. So landing in the midfoot really helped me, because it helped me to absorb a lot of that pressure instead of relying simply on a comfortable pair of shoes. The second thing that really helped me, and actually was probably the most crucial point, was making sure that I was landing with my feet behind my hips. I found that when you land with your feet level with your hips, or with your feet even in front of your hips, that it increases the weight and that pressure riding up, particularly onto that hip area. I found that by landing with my feet behind my hips slightly, that took away a lot of that pressure. It also made that time in contact with the ground a lot less. So it reduced that amount of pressure that was travelling through that area, and the onset of pain pretty much went away very quickly. The third thing that I found really crucial was preventing overstriding. So a lot of runners nowadays, what they tend to do is they want to go really fast all the time. In order to do that, they try and increase their speed by overstriding. Now what I found was, by reducing my striding distance, is that I was actually taking shorter steps. When I was taking shorter steps, I wasn't planting with my feet in front of my hip area. So when I was landing and staying in a more neutral position, it helped me to prevent basically resulting into poor gait and poor biomechanics. And by keeping that good neutral position as I ran, it prevented me from having those aches and pains and all that pressure going up through my body. The final point is making sure you're a light runner. Now what I mean by that is basically, and I'll show you quickly, a lot of runners when they run, they land with their hips fairly sunken and their knees fairly bent. So when you land like this is going to increase the amount of pressure that goes up through that upper leg and into that hip area. So what you want to basically be doing is trying to stay tall. I'll show you quickly. So when we're running, we actually want to be fairly straight, and you want your body to be lengthened, so your chest is nice and high, your head's coming up towards the sky, and we're just reaching out through those hips, staying fairly straight. Having plaid form is basically going to increase that pressure in your lower body, and it also will travel up to your upper body too, so you might even get things such as bad back as well as those painful knees and painful hips. So trying to be a light runner is really crucial as well, preventing that pressure riding up through your body. As well as being a light runner, what you should also try and be is a quiet runner. So if you can hear yourself squeaking and making a lot of noise when you hit the ground, for me, that's a clear indication that you're somebody who could be a prime candidate for ITB issues in the future, and even many other symptoms as well. So to conclude, guys, my 4 main things that I found to really help me get rid of my ITB altogether, and I haven't had any issues in the last 2 years, was landing in the midfoot, making sure you're planting your feet behind your hips, making sure we're not overstriding as a runner, and finally, remaining quiet as a runner and producing less force through your body as we're running. Okay guys, thanks so much. To see more videos, check us out at runninginjuryfreerevolution.com. So that's RIFREV.com. Thank you so much, and we'll continue to give you support online with all our future videos. Thanks very much guys. Cheers.